Dawson's Rambles.
Hey YouTube, Dawson Ryder here with my good buddy Buster Ace, who has been my companion for all these Toy Fair news videos. Hopefully this is the last one. I mean, hopefully it probably is. Toy Fair is pretty much done. So this is just going to kind of be a general wrap-up, a little bit of a recap, nothing too in-depth that I'm not going to be retreading too much. Just kind of, you know, general, like I said, recap and kind of giving my thoughts a little bit more on some things, because I gave some thoughts, but I kind of tried to hold back a little bit so I could be more about news and whatnot. I'm going to save the toy talk for the end because I've made exactly 50,000 videos for the toy talk, so like for more in-depth coverage on it, this should be in my Hasbro Toy News playlist, so all those videos are there from Toy Fair and before. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started with the show stuff, Beast Morphers as a show. We did get a premiere date, which is going to be March 2nd, now at the earlier time slot of 8 a.m. Eastern Central Time. So that's exciting, you know, that we're so close to it. Like, there's been a lot of like, oh my god, where's the trailer? Exactly those words all over Twitter. And you know, we haven't gotten a trailer yet, but they said, I think it was Power Rangers Now that tweeted it out when they talked to somebody. They said that they're going to be releasing it, obviously, before it comes out. I mean, that could mean March 1st, but, you know, they just wanted to not do it now, I guess, because they wanted all this news to breathe, which makes sense. I'm thankful for a minute to breathe with all this news. Like, it's been exciting, but just exhausting. Like, so we'll be getting some sort of teaser trailer within, you know, the next 2 weeks. I'm going to assume it might be this week. I just feel like the earlier the better, so that you can get the promotion out there. Like, I was fully expecting kind of a lull for the trailer, and like, even the release date I wasn't expecting to be this soon. I assumed it would be a little bit delayed because of the changing of the hands and figuring everything out. So I was like excited to see something, but I wasn't like hounding them for it. But now that we have a date within 2 weeks, I think we need to get something out there, because as I've said in previous videos, I'm gonna watch it. I know you guys are probably gonna watch it. We just need to get like the casuals and the kids to know what's going on, so they need to be doing some good promotion. But it's exciting we have a premiere date and that it's so soon, but I kind of wish we'd found out like a month out so there was more time to get the word out there, but at least that's cool. They did show little bits of footage like at the presentation and stuff. There's a couple little screenshots and videos going around of it. Like I said, I'm gonna wait until we get the actual thing to do a breakdown, like instead of going over someone filming a screen. That'd be like triple screenception. But you know, they showed like on the screens there, it was just kind of a general brand presentation. I saw it, it has like Beast Morphers stuff, it had footage from like Super Mega Force, I think Ninja Steel was in there, just some kids jumping around, just like a general brand promo. But the footage looked cool. There's a really cool shot of them like teleporting and stuff like that. Based on, you know, the stuff I saw from various tweets, from various accounts, you know, that were talking to people or hearing stuff. It sounds hopeful. Like, there was talk of like deep cuts, like potential deep cuts to like lore, maybe. I'm not sure if how true that is or what they meant by that. I'm still remaining cautiously optimistic. Like, I'm still fully expecting this to be a transitionary year and potentially more close to what we've been getting than what we will get. But I like what I'm seeing. I'm seeing effort being put into it on all accounts from this moment, but I'm looking forward to the farther future. They'd even said, I believe this was also a tweet from Power Rangers Now, that when they talked to someone, they asked about animated, and they said everything's on the table for the future to reach the most people. That's super cool. I know that always gets shot down immediately whenever I mention it, because they're like, oh, because Toei and blah, blah, blah. I think anything is possible. It could be 2 years from now, it could be 10 years from now, but I would love to see something animated, but I think, like I said, anything is possible with that. But the point is, from this little spiel ramble, it is called Dawson's Rambles, is that it sounds like there is, you know, going to be stuff to be excited about for the show. It sounds like there's some effort put into it. Like I said, cautiously optimistic, because I don't want to be like, oh my god, this is going to be the best season ever! And then it just kind of ends up being, like, Neo Saban normal. Because, like, I'm expecting it to transitionary. I don't think it's going to be until after this series that we fully see what Hasbro's voice will be. I don't know why I slipped into a Russian accent there. Okay, so I think that was pretty much it for show news. We got the premiere date, there was a little bit of footage going around, and we can expect some sort of teaser trailer soonish. Now on to comic news. We've been wondering for a bit what the next arc for the comic's going to be. It's going to be called Necessary Evil. It starts with issue 40 in June. I believe it was June 27th, 26th, 27th, one of those two. I don't know why in the video I initially talked about it that I said the 30 was in my head for some reason, but we have Ryan Perrott and Daniel Nico? Nico? I always mess up the names because I read them so fast on Twitter, I come up with my own pronunciation, and then when I actually look at them, I'm like, oh, that's not even how you say it. But people that have been working on Go-Go Power Rangers and have worked on Power Rangers art before. So it's like a new creative team, but it's people that have been working on it before that we know, which is super exciting. And we are going back to MMPR. There's like minor details on it right now, just saying that it's going to deal with the fallout of After Shattered Grid, you know, because they kind of ended with, okay, you're going to set things back, but it's not going to go to exactly the way it was. And then now we've been following the Beyond the Grid crew, so we don't know what that meant. We don't know what happened to the MMPR team, what happened to the universe, so we're going to find those answers out. And the White Ranger is going to be making his official debut in this, outside of being, you know, Draken's powers, or part of his powers, and he's going to be leading the team. It was in one of the articles. I'll try to remember to link one of the articles. I'll try to link a few things in here. Some of the stuff, it's hard to link everything because a lot of my information came from like 5 or 7 different Twitter news and fan accounts, so it's like I don't want to link to a bazillion tweets, just from like general accounts. But anyway, so it's really funny because Beyond the Grid on paper was like my dream for the comic, like following other seasons besides MMPR, getting creative stuff going on, and then you still have Go-Go over there to do MMPR, but Beyond the Grid has just been so iffy, and I hate how much it is, and I'm not trying to speak ill of the people working on it, because I think there's some cool stuff in it, but it's just been, to be honest, kind of a disappointment. Like, the art's weird, like some of it looks really cool, but then other times it's like the panels are confusing to read, and like the image is so distorted. Like, I remember I was like, is this Kyoryu Navy's suit, or is this supposed to be a different variation on the Death Ryuger suit? Like, I feel like I'm constantly that meme of Chang looking like this. Like, the art's been iffy, the dialogue's been iffy, the story hasn't been quite what I was expecting. So it feels weird to me, after all this dreaming of Beyond MMPR, that when we got this announcement, I was like, a combination of excited and relieved that we were getting back to the MMPR characters and then we're going to get the White Ranger. Like, I still hope, and I think, or even believe, that we will get some other season content. Like, I think that we could potentially see some, you know, annual stories and like one-offs in the compendiums and stuff that deal with other lore and stuff like that. Maybe even within MMPR itself. But they establish these characters so well that I am curious what happens to them specifically after Shattered Grid, how they tackle the White Ranger stuff, what potential changes happen, and essentially their version, what I'm assuming is potentially like a post-Flashpoint, like New 52 type thing. Like, they could really go some places with that, with like familiar yet different paths. I think it would be cool, people have brought this up before, if maybe Jason was the White Ranger, like in the Coinless world he was going to be before Tommy stole it. But I kind of still want it to be Tommy, just because I mentioned this before, but that suit was always cool to me, like, on top of being cool. It was like a physical representation of Tommy redeeming himself from Green, and I feel that has extra weight to it in the comic, because they actually dealt with the weight of an evil Green Ranger and then the Lord Draken stuff. But bottom line is, I'm super excited for that. Like, I'm excited to potentially get back to some better quality stuff that I'm going to be looking forward to. Like I said, it feels weird to be relieved that we're getting back into MMPR stuff. Just real quick mention, because I don't think I've mentioned this in any of the videos, they are planning on doing a potential Power Rangers live show. I think they had something going on with that with Saban as well. We'll see what that ends up being, if it ends up being, but that was talked about earlier on, I think before Toy Fair. Now, as far as the Toy Fair stuff goes, like I said, I've covered all this stuff. I mean, at the end of the day, there actually wasn't a ton of surprises, if we're being honest. I mean, it was all super exciting to see, don't get me wrong. But, like, they did so many pre-announcements. Like, we basically saw all the stuff, or at least the core stuff I wanted to see, like, right before Toy Fair. Like, I wanted to see the Morpher, I wanted to see the Zords, the figures, and I wanted a better look at the Lightning Collection. And the Lightning Collection stuff, literally, at the 11th hour, right before Toy Fair, like, they leaked those images on, I don't remember the name of the toy store, but they got pulled down. But I feel like I've talked about the Lightning Collection since I was born, but it looks super, super cool. The boxes look amazing. The alternate heads look amazing. The general just look of them is amazing. And they did speak a little bit about that they're going to be doing fan favorites from across the brand. They might open up some votes at some points. We've already know that, like, with Goldar, we'll get like GameStop exclusives and stuff like that. And I know there's people that are like, oh, I hope they do every Ranger. I mean, I hope that too, but let's just hold our horses, because there's a lot of Rangers, and I'll just be happy to get a good variety of some awesome ones. I think if they plan it correctly, you know, if they end up diving into Ninja Storm or Dino Thunder at any point, it'll be pretty easy to get like a complete, at least core team over a few waves. But I like the way they're handling it. I think, you know, given that Hasbro has, like, you know, Toy Shop exclusives and stuff, or like Pulse now, there's potential for exclusive ones, which I think is super cool, because, you know, there could be ones that they know, like kind of like Figure Arts exclusives, even though that seems kind of random the way they do that. But you know what I mean, like ones that I know will sell pretty decent amongst the core fans, but maybe not full retail. And they did also say that Rangers like Hyperforce and Comic ones are in play potentially, which is cool. I think ones like Draken are way more likely, and given how awesome White Ranger looks, I am super excited for the potential of all of Draken's forms, like a really good standard Draken with the evolved head and then the final evolution. Like, I want to see all of them, but like I'm just really excited at that potential, and I would love Hyperforce figures. Even if it was like a con exclusive or a shop exclusive you could buy online later of the core 5 or 6. Do like the core 5 as an exclusive pack, and then do Silver and Hyperforce Green as a 2-pack. Boom, done it for you. I want that now. This is America, I want it now! But then, you know, you had the Play School stuff kind of took me by surprise when we started learning about it, because like I knew it would kind of be that sort of Imaginext-esque, that's hard to say, Imaginext-esque, forget it. But there's like some really neat looking stuff in there. Like I think the hybrid between the 2 Rhinozords is super interesting, and the Red Dragon Thunderzord actually looks really awesome. And the little minifigures, we're doing so many from so many different seasons, and I'm a sucker for stuff like that I'm super stoked about that. But even the little micro Morphin minis I'm excited about, except for the potential of, you know, digging through blind packs, because I hate that. Does anybody like that? The only context that I like that under is when I'm buying cards and booster packs, because that's just a part of it. But I don't like buying the blind packs. Buying, there we go, it works. It's a whole new term, not really. Then the Beast Morpher stuff, I mean, I think most of it looks pretty awesome. There isn't too many things that I don't like. There was nothing I was like, ugh. Like the figures, the standard figures, look really nice. Like, they look like they even fit in good with the Lightning collection. The fact that we're getting figures for like Darkbuster, major villains from Go Busters, and probably other villains that look way better than the Monsters of the Week we were getting. Stuff for the Buddy Roids, the cool armor figures, even the Nutcracker figures look pretty good. I'll probably pick those up because I love the Go Buster suits so much. The original weapons, like I'm kind of middle of the road on them. Like there's some I like more than others, but I like that we're getting original stuff that's going to be in the show. I always thought that was cool about Power Rangers. The Zords I think all look really good. I think they look really solid. I like the way they're selling them. I'm interested to see what they're going to be doing for next year's, since it seems like it's going to be a 2-year thing, what kind of new stuff we might be getting. Because the only thing we didn't really see was Tatagami Lyo and the Frog. So that's all that's been saved. So there might be even more original stuff, given the fact that we've seen original stuff. The Morpher looks super cool. It not only looks good, but it's got like a ton of different features, which is just really awesome. Like I mean, there's been varying levels of excitement. Like I was pretty excited when the Dino Charge stuff came out, but I haven't been this amped up since the Jungle Fury stuff came out, because Geki Ranger is my first Sentai, and so I was already super excited to basically get a ton of figures from it and like cool original creations right after Geki Ranger finished airing. And then added that we had the original Rangers, so it made it even more exciting. And then this is like a similar situation, because Geki Ranger and Go Busters are my favorite seasons. So I'm super stoked to see all this merchandise for it, because you don't get proper figures in Japan. So, and then for characters like Darkbuster, so I'm gonna like way overbuy on this, because I'm super excited to have figures from one of my favorite seasons. And then it's like extra exciting because we thought we had passed over Go Busters. It wasn't like oh, are we gonna adapt this or not? We thought we had long passed that. So that's super cool. There was also a little tidbit where they were asked why they picked it, and they basically just said because it looks like cool and different, more or less, to paraphrase, and that it was a good way for this kind of relaunch, which I agree with. I think this is such a proof of concept of I had always said that I think Go Busters designs had such potential here, because they look a little bit different, a little cooler, a little less spandexy. That is not spandex, but just enormous potential for what's already there and what can be made. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Like I said, if you want more detailed breakdowns of like all the individual releases, I have all the news videos on this playlist, but I didn't want to re-report it. I just kind of wanted to give a general recap, couple little release date details I didn't get, and kind of give more thoughts about it. So finally we can breathe, the Toy Fair coverage is done. Hopefully within the next week or so we'll get a trailer, and I'll do a breakdown for that, but now we can resume normal videos. I know my Loot Pat and Kamen Rider videos kind of got pushed a little bit for Toy Fair stuff, so I apologize to all 5 of you that are looking forward to that. But anyway, thanks for bearing with me this weekend through this crazy busy time. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and climb the steps and ring that bell for all my Power Rangers news and toy reviews. Till next time, Dawson Rider, signing out.